Here are three reasons that I chose a water birth for both of my births. And if you are currently pregnant and you're thinking about what kind of birth do I want, I hope this video really helps you from someone who was once in your shoes and now is on the other side and is just so glad with the route that I took. So, okay, when I was pregnant with my first baby, I was like very much in research mode, figuring out like what are all of my different birth options? What are like the pros and the cons of each one? And ultimately, I landed on a water birth as like my most preferred way to give birth. And here are the three key reasons why I landed on it. First of all, as I was doing the research and the risks and the benefits of the different things, I started to find a unmedicated birth more appealing. It felt really appealing for me, for like me and my body to be unmedicated, for my baby to like not have any of the effects of medication like trickling into their bodies, and for our hormones and just us to be like connected without like maybe a barrier. So that seemed really appealing to me. And I also didn't want to interrupt my natural hormones and just like let them do their thing because our bodies are incredible and are made for this and will respond in birth to be able to like work to give us less pain during birth as well. So that really ended up being like number one reason. I just learned about water as a natural pain relief and how in an unmedicated birth, it can feel like really soothing and gentle. And that sounded really appealing to me because what happened when I started preparing for birth was I started to learn that there are actually natural ways that you can relieve pain during birth. One of them, of course, are hormones, which like your body is just doing. And if you feel less stressed and more calm, then your body is also going to feel less pain during birth. And when I found that out, that just like blew my mind. And I was just like, I want that. I want to be as like calm as possible during birth. I don't want to be all tensed up during birth because I knew that contributed to more pain during contractions. And so a water birth just sounded like just a beautiful environment for my to cue my body to be able to relax during contractions and then feel less pain. So really, that was my number one reason. I'm like, yes, I want less pain during birth and I want to set myself self up with an environment to feel less pain. So that was number one. Number two, I really liked the freedom of water birth in terms of like being able to give birth in a few different positions. And I wanted to let gravity work in my favor during birth. So when I was learning about like the different birth positions, for example, I learned that giving birth on your back in many, many cases isn't like the best for you or your baby. Um, because like when you're leaned back, your pelvis might like be a bit more like closed, and your midwife or your doula, whoever will, if you do give birth on your back, can give you some options to open up your pelvis. But it just sounded so appealing to me. I'm like, I want gravity to work my with me in my favor. I want gravity to help like pull my baby down gently. And so I wanted something like maybe more upright or like all fours. That's the position I ended up giving birth in with both of my babies. And it was because like gravity was going to help. So that's reason number two. And then reason number three, um, lower risk of tearing, which obviously we all want to lower our risk of tearing. And a water birth apparently can help you lower your risk because, like, I don't know, like the water in your muscles are like stretching like more slowly. And I don't know, there's something just so soothing and healing about water. So those are my three reasons. And I just want to share like a fun little anecdote about my second birth related to water and the vision that I had during early labor. So I was in early labor, I was at home. I had just like had a sandwich, was watching some HGTV. This was clearly early in labor, and I was feeling like relaxed and calm and good. And I took a nap on my couch. I put a towel down under me and I just took a nap and I did a hypnobirthing meditation, which if you haven't watched my other videos, I love hypnobirthing. I'm so grateful I came across this in my pregnancies because it really helped me rewire my mind and my nervous system to feel safe during birth. And like I talked about earlier, the calmer you are during birth, the lower pain you're going to feel. So I actually teach that to mums now, how to prep your mind and your body for birth. I'll link my Lighter Birth course below. It's only $33, and I share with you all of the steps that can help you rewire your mind and your body to feel confident during birth and feel less pain. So anyway, I was doing one of my hypnobirthing meditations when I was in labor as like a little nap, and I kind of like drifted off to sleep. And then I had this vision. So I'm like, was I asleep? I don't know if I was like fully asleep or just like really in a meditation mode. That must have been it. And in the meditation, I was like in this cave and there was like water in a cave. I was like in a pool in a cave. There was like a waterfall behind me. And I had this moment where I imagined like giving birth and my holding my baby in my arms. And like the moment I held my baby in my arms in that vision, my water broke in real life, like the movies type of break, which didn't happen the first time. And which was wild. It was so cool. I'm like, wow, it's like my mind like willed that to begin. And my baby too, because like I'd held my baby and we're both like, yep, go time. And it was wild. Like 40 minutes later, he was in my arms. And we had gone to the hospital in that time. That's a wild story. I have another podcast episode about that, but freaking loved that birth story. Another thing I love about hypnobirthing is that the way you're able to mentally process birth, you're also less likely to experience trauma from it because you're more likely to feel calm and in control during labor. So I attribute hypnobirthing to feeling so good and so excited, not only in the lead up to labor, but during and after it when I process it too. Even though my labor didn't go according to plan the second time, and I did have I'm like, I kind of had a water bath. I was in the tub, but there was like this much water because that happened so fast. But you can see I'm like smiling, like I legit freaking love that story. And the whole experience, even though it's not according to plan. But that's where I think having a mindset that is like just locked in and where you do feel like prepared, resourced, confident, you're and in tune with your baby, like I was never afraid. So I just wanted to share that because I'm like, I never want to leave someone feeling freaked out after a video. If I'm like, oh, I almost like gave birth on the way to the hospital, I just like love sharing that story because it's an example of how that can happen and you can still feel really good. You can feel really good about your birth. You can feel confident about it, and not panicked. So I just feel like that's such an empowering state to be in birth. But anyway, I freaking loved my water births. They are like the most powerful experiences of my whole life. And the lower pain, the ease of different birth positions, lower risk of tearing, and overall just being a wonderful, gentle entry into the world for my baby and just like that, yeah, calm environment was exactly what I wanted. And I'm so happy that I ultimately prepared for them and got them. So I hope that helps you. Check out the My Lighter Birth course if you are preparing for an unmedicated birth. And that is exactly who that course is for. And good luck on your birth prep journey. I'll see you in the next one.